I'm Stevie J from Glove Up or Shut Up, and here are your UFC Fight Night 35 results and my thoughts on the evening as a whole. Charlie Brenneman did not succeed in his UFC return. He was defeated by Beneil Dariush via rear naked choke at 145 of the first round. Kind of disappointing to see Brenneman go down like that, but on the plus side, his fight did get bonused at the end of the show, so obviously they're happy with the performance and they're probably going to have both of these guys back again. Vink Pichel defeated Garrett Whiteley, unanimous decision 30-27 across the board. Pichel was never really in any trouble here. Whiteley just looked outclassed and got controlled throughout the fight. Pichel was even able to hit a suplex at the end of the fight and then let out a primal scream like Brock Lesnar. So maybe they'll start calling him Mini Lesnar instead of From Hell Pichel from now on. Then we had the first of four straight decisions on the Fox Sports 1 prelim card. Luis Smoka upset Alptekin Ashkilik, who was the 3-1 favorite, with a 29-28 decision across the board, and his striking looked very impressive. And I think Smoka is probably going to be a force to be reckoned with in the flyweight division. Trevor Smith beat a very game Brian Houston via split decision, 29-28 times 2 and 28-29. Not everybody in the crowd agreed with this, but what are you going to do when you let it go to the judges? That's why Peter H. always says it on every show. Elias Silverio beat Isaac Valley Flag, who was on a 12-fight unbeaten streak, and was just totally dominant in the striking here and would have won 30-27 across the board, except he got 1 point deducted for a questionably illegal knee. It may have hit the chest, it may have grazed the chin, but he threw it when Valley Flag was down on one knee, so the point got taken away anyway. Regardless, Silverio totally dominated this fight. Ramsey Nijem and Justin Edwards had a war. Enough of one that it may actually get the bonus, although I don't know which fight that's going to because Tough Nations is coming on right after this, and I gotta get right back to work, so I won't see the post-fight presser. Anyway, Nijem wins 30-27 and 29-28 times 2. Very close fight. Then we open up the main card with some excitement as Cole Miller rocks Sam Cecilia, jumps on him, gets the rear naked choke in 154 of the second round. So, scrappy fight. Cecilia was getting hurt throughout, but he was never out of it until he got rocked and choked. John Moraga defeats Dustin Ortiz, although a lot of people who watched the fight saw it the other way, including the crowd in Atlanta. This went 29-28 times 2 and 28-29. I guess how you score it really depends on the third round because there was a point where Moraga was ahead and then Ortiz got a takedown. Didn't do a whole lot with it, but if you scored it for the takedown, you probably scored round 3 for Ortiz. And if you scored Moraga's striking, you probably scored it for him. So nobody's going to be happy with that one, but what are you going to do? Derek Brunson nearly beat Yoel Romero. He was up on him for the first 2 rounds and didn't coast in the third, and that cost him because Romero fired back with what little energy he had left, rocked him, and then TKO'd him with elbows to the body when the referee stepped in because he wasn't responding. TJ Dillashaw cruised over Mike Easton, never really in any danger. Easton really couldn't do anything to him. He kept him at range and just diced him with shots. He took him apart, literally start to finish. It was a 30-27 across the board. Brad Tavares defeated Lorenz Larkin. That was another upset on this card. Larkin was the favorite going in, but Tavares was busier. He was using leg kicks, he was outstriking, he was grappling, he was doing everything that Larkin wasn't, and Larkin had to try like hell to make a comeback in the third round and get a knockout. He couldn't do it. 29-28 across the board. And the main event was short but sweet, as Luke Rockhold started picking apart Costas Phillipou with shots, and then used a liver kick to KO him at 2:31 of the first round. Definitely the best fight of the night, and worthy of being the main event of this card, which is a thumbs in the middle card because I watched the whole thing. If you watched only the main card on Fox Sports 1, probably a slight thumbs up. But it's a very long card when you're sitting watching fights for 6 hours from Facebook all the way through the main event. But Rockhold versus Phillipou delivered. So overall, I guess I'm happy about it. That's UFC Fight Night. I'm Stevie J.